Dear Congressman Ron Paul, I watched with some interest your recent popular comments on the now Phase 5 outbreak of swine flu. I was particularly concerned by your ridicule of the swine flu as being an item on the Department of Homeland Security.
Prime item for the Department of Homeland Security. How did the Department of Homeland Security get into the medical business? You know, it just is totally out of control on what they think we should do.
Now, I recently came into the US as a foreign national, and as you may or may not be aware, that as such my fingerprints of all the fingers on my left and right hand are taken, as well as both of my thumbprints and my picture, all for the Department of Homeland Security by the US government. All visitors in line are required to do this by touching a single electronic device, twice with the left hand and twice with the right. As I am sure you are well aware, this would be a superb way of spreading the virus as it enters the country. Further, I noticed that the immigration official wore rubber gloves, which was presumably for their protection, something which I would of course completely advocate. Yet the immigration official will handle all of the documents for everyone standing in line. Again, this is an obvious way of spreading the virus as it enters the country, and one that would be easily preventable by something as simple as alcohol wipes for the finger scanner and hand sanitizer for the immigration official. I think, given that you drew attention to your credentials as a physician.
Looks like our government is getting us pretty upset and concerned about the swine flu. This is interesting to me, not only for political reasons, but also as a physician.
That there would be significant merit in you issuing a clarification, maybe stating that you would be entirely in support of the Department of Homeland Security getting involved in the medical business, as you put it, as a simple mechanism for preventing the needless spread of the virus as it enters the country. After all, the people coming in through the airports have multiple destinations. This is not just like spreading the virus locally. Indeed, I would expect little more from your physician status than to vigorously pursue such an agenda of common sense hygiene for the protection of your fellow Americans. However, I can easily justify this on financial grounds if you would find that more acceptable. Let us say that only one person in the US gets affected by such a virus due to the poor hygiene and misses out on, say, 3 days' work at an average US salary. How much sterilizer could be purchased for this loss? 3 days' work at an average US salary would reduce the US GDP by about $300, and that would reduce the IRS income by about $50. This would purchase about 2 gallons of sterilizing alcohol, easily enough to sterilize a finger plate many thousand times. Again, I can see no grounds, either moral, medical, or financial, as to why you would not, as a physician, actively advocate such action. Best wishes, Thunderfoot.